everyone. Happy demo day. So I'm going to start by teeing off the day with a kind of fashion-focused startup. I don't know how many of you count yourselves as fashionistas in this room, but it doesn't matter. We'll walk you through the experience pretty simply. So my name is Sonali. I'm a co-founder and the CEO of Browsy, where we are finally making Pinterest shoppable. So I'm sure all of you at some point have discovered a beautiful image online and you've thought to yourself, what is that? Or more importantly, where can I get that? And sometimes those are really tough questions to answer. And there's one platform in particular that's simultaneously the best and the worst of both worlds. So the place where you can go to discover the most beautiful images, but probably are the most frustrated by the fact that you can't figure out how to just make that purchase. And that platform is Pinterest. So in case you don't think you're an avid Pinterest fan and you don't know much about the platform, we're going to walk you through the experience of one of our users, Isabel, who is a Pinterest-holic and now a Browsy-holic. So Isabel sits down every Saturday morning, a typical behavior for Pinterest users, and browses tons of beautiful images. They're pre-curated. The platform looks like an interactive catalog, but it just doesn't really function like one, right? So she ends up curating all these images into boards that she hopes and treats like wish lists that she wants to come back to when she wants to make a purchase. The problem is when she clicks through any one of those pins, she expects that she's going to hit an e-commerce site and be able to make a purchase. But something more like this happens. She clicks and she sees an error page or a sold-out page on a retailer site with no information, or just some random 16-year-old's glittery Tumblr page. And that's an incredibly frustrating experience. And the thing is, Isabel isn't alone here. There are 70 million other Pinterest users who hit an expired link 50% of the time that they click through a link. So, and just like Isabel, 60% of them have actually made a purchase inspired by a pin. They really actually want to make purchases, and their spending capability is really high. They're spending $199 per purchase. That's $100 more than on Facebook, and it indicates a huge squandered commerce opportunity. And actually, when you break down the numbers, that's actually an $8 billion missed commerce opportunity on the Pinterest platform alone. But now that Browsy is here, our users can finally shop the fashions in their pins, and retailers aren't going to miss out on those purchases either. So let's go through an experience that Isabel now has as a Browsy user. She comes to us and simply gives us her Pinterest username. From there, she has a feed on our site of all of her fashion pins with products identified and where to find those products at the lowest price available. She can then even sort by lowest price or discount. We're a commerce enabler. But here's the best part. Isabel doesn't even need to be logged into Browsy to be able to shop off of the Pinterest platform. So for every user like Isabel, we actually create a board that drops directly into their Pinterest platform and effectively becomes now their shopping cart on Pinterest. So when Isabel wants to shop, she just clicks our board, our Browsy shoppable pin board, and up pops all of her shoppable pins. So here they are, and there are helpful captions that will describe for her what they are, what brand names and product names, how much they cost. And when she clicks through a pin, she hits the Browsy site where she can see all of those products and in one click hit the retailers where she can actually finally make that purchase. And since we've launched, this pain point is ubiquitous across the Pinterest platform. It's the one thing users are most frustrated with. Ally Watch, Killer Startups, and Product Hunt have pegged it exactly for what it is, finally enabling commerce on a platform that's sort of suffered from this in the past. What's more exciting is we're not just solving a pain point. We're actually changing our users' behavior on the Pinterest platform. What I mean by that is that people started to feel like the social features like the newsfeed on Pinterest were diluting their wish list because you couldn't actually purchase off of them. But now that there's hope you can actually purchase from them, people are actually starting to re-engage with that content at a higher rate. So let me tell you a little bit now about the secret sauce of what we do. We essentially have a backend that you should think of like an IMDb of fashion images. So we have 5 million images that are contextualized with information about where they come from, where else they've been online, and what products are within them. So when we see those products, when you see those images in our users' profiles, we know exactly what products are within them, and then we execute a price comparison search through an engine that we've built that aggregates from thousands of different retailers to tell you whether those products are still in stock and where you can actually find them at the lowest price available. And that automation is ultimately what also distinguishes us from our competitors. So ASAP 50 Horror and The Hunt are 2 different platforms where you can go and upload images one by one and then wait for feedback from a network of stylists or a user base to tell you what products are within them. That's time-consuming for you as the user. It's manual on the part of our competitors, and it does actually lead to a high level of inaccuracy in terms of those products that are identified. But the other real unfair advantage we have over our competitors is the Pinterest platform itself. So the Pinterest platform has a number of baked-in social features that we've effectively used to really economically acquire customers. So let me tell you about Isabel's experience again and give a little bit more context into how that works. When we created that Browsy shoppable pin board for her, her entire network of followers was notified that she now had these Browsy shoppable pins. That's one touch point. The second is, remember those helpful captions? Well, they're actually chock full of keywords, brand names, apparel categories, all of which make them more searchable to the entire Pinterest network. And in just the 4 weeks since we've launched, our virality coefficient off of that platform has grown to 3.65, and it's still growing on a daily basis. That is absolutely staggering. So for every user that we've acquired, we're getting at least 3 more just organically off the Pinterest platform. And our cost of acquisition generally is very low for our space. It's $1.43, but $1 of which we're actually recouping in just the first usage. What's really exciting there is that users are so excited to have finally figured out what those products are that they're clicking through at least 20 of them in the first login. If you think about it like a purchasing funnel, they were sort of at the point of awareness, and now they're so invested in these products that they're really considering them as a purchase. So I've sort of teed up a little bit about our revenue model, but we're using an affiliate revenue stream where we collect at least 7% off of every purchase we drive to a retailer and 5 cents from every click. But we're also building out 2 other revenue streams. We've learned that what we're really great at is ultimately identifying who content originators are of images. So we can help you reclaim commissions off of unattributed images that are floating across the Pinterest platform. And secondly, we're sitting on a huge amount of really valuable data that describes a user's intent to purchase. And we've gotten a number of inbound requests from ad tech companies for that anonymized user data. So told you a lot about Isabel, but let me finally tell you about our team. We are absolutely fashion tech obsessed. This is the domain that we love. As a team, we've built price comparison engines, we've built barcode scanning apps, showrooming apps, gift card aggregators, social media offerings for retailers. We're really excited about providing hairy, complex technical solutions to what seems like a deceptively simple pain point for our users. What's next for us, is that we're raising $1 million to be able to build out our database. Secondly, to invest in marketing for the first time in a concerted way. And then to expand onto the platforms where we know our users are discovering content that they want to purchase from. That first means moving into mobile apps, and then investigating the other similar platforms, the Tumblrs, Instagrams, and Facebooks of the world, where our users wish they could actually make purchases, and even treat ourselves as their shopping companion, so that ultimately the vision that we're aspiring to is that a user like Isabel should be able to shop whatever she's browsing, wherever she's browsing, because of Browsy. Thanks.